Welcome to Crazy Basketball, where we're about to dive into what may be the biggest controversy in the history of women's sports. Caitlin Clark, yes, the Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's brightest star, the player who had everyone talking, is gone. That's right, she's officially left the WNBA and signed a mind-blowing contract in Europe. This isn't just a big deal, it's a seismic shift that's shaking the very foundation of women's basketball. But don't think for a second this is just about money or a better deal. Oh no, it's much deeper than that. This is a story about a league failing its star player, and the truth, it's ugly, it's brutal, and it's exactly what the WNBA doesn't want you to know. Trust me, what we're about to uncover is way more explosive than anyone could have expected. By the end of this video, you're going to see why Caitlin Clark's decision to leave might just be the beginning of the end for the WNBA. So buckle up, because this ride is about to get controversial. Make sure you stick around because there's so much more to this story, and it's something you need to hear. Alright, let's rewind for a second. Caitlin Clark didn't just make waves in college, she redefined the game. At the University of Iowa, she wasn't just a standout, she was a sensation. Game after game, she was racking up points like nobody's business, leading her team to victory and electrifying crowds like no one had ever seen before. She wasn't just the future of women's basketball, she was the face of it. Her name became synonymous with greatness. By the time she hit the WNBA, she was already a household name. Let's be real, the WNBA didn't just want her, they needed her. Caitlin Clark was the star that would carry the league to the next level. Think about it, this was a league that had been fighting for relevance for years. Ratings were low, attendance was struggling, and then boom, Caitlin Clark steps in. Suddenly, jersey sales are through the roof, arenas are packed, and TV ratings are better than they've been in years. The WNBA had its savior, or so it thought. But then, everything went south. Fast. The moment Caitlin Clark stepped onto a WNBA court, something changed. It wasn't just tough competition, it was brutal. Game after game, Clark was getting slammed, knocked to the ground, taking hits that would have put any other player out of commission. Cheap shots everywhere. Hard fouls non-stop. And yet, where were the foul calls? Where was the protection from the league? The referees? Silent. The league office? Completely indifferent. Caitlin Clark was left to fend for herself like a punching bag in a league that needed her to stay healthy and successful. And here's where it gets really messy. Did the WNBA ignore Clark's struggles because of her race? Let's be honest, the league has always had a complicated relationship with its white stars. Caitlin Clark, a white player, dominating in a league predominantly made up of black athletes, didn't exactly fit the narrative the WNBA wanted to push. The media coverage? Minimal. ESPN barely paying attention. It's almost as if the league was trying to downplay her success, but why? Was it because Caitlin Clark didn't fit the image they wanted to market? Was it because a white player being the face of the league wasn't what the WNBA wanted to promote? These are the hard questions that nobody wants to ask, but here on Crazy Basketball, we ask them. The league's silence speaks volumes. Let's call it what it is. The WNBA failed Caitlin Clark. They didn't protect her, they didn't promote her, and now they're losing her. And this, my friends, is where it all starts to unravel. Her decision to leave the WNBA isn't just a career move, it's a protest. Caitlin Clark is sending a message. If you won't protect me, if you won't respect me, I'll go somewhere that will. And that's exactly what she's done. By heading to Europe, Clark will not only dominate the game, but she'll also get the respect and protection she was denied in the WNBA. And trust me, her success overseas is going to shine a glaring spotlight on the flaws in the WNBA system. Now, let's talk about the ripple effect. Without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA is in serious trouble, and that's not an exaggeration. The league was already struggling with attendance, with viewership, with staying relevant in the crowded sports landscape. Caitlin Clark was the only reason many fans were even paying attention to the WNBA. Without her, where do they go from here? How do they fill the massive void she leaves behind? The WNBA is facing an existential crisis. The cold, hard truth is that Caitlin Clark was the league. Her star power was undeniable. Fans came to watch her, they bought tickets, tuned into games, and bought her jerseys. And now, she's gone. And without her, the league's future is looking bleak, very bleak. And honestly, can the WNBA survive without her? That's the million-dollar question. As Caitlin Clark thrives in Europe, the gap between her new life and her struggles in the WNBA will be impossible to ignore. What does it say about a league that can't keep its biggest star happy? What does it say about their future when the player bringing in the most fans is gone? This isn't just a hit for the WNBA, it's an earthquake. And let's not pretend the racial dynamics aren't a part of this story. Caitlin Clark didn't fit the narrative the league wanted to push, and now they're paying the ultimate price. So as we wrap this up, let's make one thing clear. Caitlin Clark's journey from college phenom to WNBA superstar should have been a triumph, but instead it's become a disaster for the WNBA. They didn't prioritize her, they didn't protect her, and now they're losing her. This could be the final nail in the coffin for a league that's been teetering on the edge for years. If this video opened your eyes, make sure to give it a thumbs up and drop a comment. Do you think the WNBA can survive this, or is it too late? And let's be real, how much of this was about race? Don't hold back, we want to hear all your thoughts. Thanks for watching Crazy Basketball, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more uncensored sports commentary. We're just getting started, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.